What's the virtual camera for?
What it is, I use a, here we go, text stream. I use a program called Split Cam.
Yeah.
I use a program called Split Cam to split the feeds up.
And I don't understand why using split cam, what the advantage of splitting a feed off does. What's the virtual camera for? And you've gone silent on me. I don't understand why using split cam, what the advantage of splitting a feed off does. It's okay, Henry. What's the virtual camera for? Friends. You can talk to me. You've gone silent on me. Am I here? I don't understand why using split cam, what the advantage of splitting a feed off does. It's okay, Henry. What's the virtual camera for? Friends. You can talk to me. Hang on, has Discord decided gone? Am I here? I don't understand that thing where it goes and what the advantage. Oh, you know your output is okay, Henry. What's the virtual camera? Well, we're just not going to use that anymore. You can talk to me. Hang on, Discord. That thing where it goes and what the advantage. Oh, you know your output is okay, so it's definitely we're just not going to use that. Okay, you can talk to me. Your icon's lit, so it looks like you're talking, but I can't hear you say it. That thing where it goes and oh, you know your output is okay, so it's definitely we're just not going to use that. Okay, you can talk to me. Your icon's lit, so it looks like you're talking, but I can't hear you say it. That thing where it goes and oh, you know your output is okay, so it's switch off and switch on again. You can see what Ian's saying in the chat. Your TNT trip, you're talking, but overlapping, sounds all messed up. Oh, you know your output is okay, so it's switch on. Your TNT trip, you're talking, overlapping. Overlapping. This is just. Hey, you know the lag between me. This is just real time. Hey, you know the lag between me. So let this man speaking. Here's a thing, Ian. I saw his name is Harry Worth. 70s, very good. I it. Yeah, you'd have probably enjoyed it. But again, I don't know if you've seen it or not, so we'll have to find out. The next exciting issue of technical stuff working. Hemi's not responded yet, so I imagine he's trying to get it sorted out. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Yep. Just have to wait and see.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, there you are. Right, yes, okay. I can hear you finally.
I had all kinds of things going on there. One, the Telegram. That awful overlapping was the Telegram. I opened it up to start the stream, but then it's that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that horrible overlapping thing.
Because nice microphone you got there. Would be a shame if we were to put the desktop audio into the microphone feed.
So then the USB started acting up on my microphone.
Why wouldn't it?
Here we go. Smooth as a groove. Should I issue an epilepsy warning? But
someone was saying, who was it saying in the chat? This is just the new theme tune, Interdimensional Lizard.
Yeah, hold on. Start virtual camera. Sorry, right, I wasn't streaming to all places.
I think I made a new theme tune about 3 years ago, but everybody have played it
should we
to
have that
really,
as the new
really.
theme tune? Just issue an epilepsy warning.
What epilepsy warning?
Can you get?
You're going to have an aneurysm.
Can you get epilepsy from listening to that?
It's a bit like when Vivian, when was it Nigel asks, like, can you overdose on laxatives? I don't know,
but I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
It also reminds me. Do you remember the multiple Neils? First you plant the seed. First you sow the seed, then you plant the seed.
Rick sowed the Neil, then he and growed the Neil. Now I am the Neil. Oh, far out, heavy. Guys, it's the pigs.
Neil's mate.
Yeah, that would be. He would be called Warlock.
Yeah.
Someone described me as a warlock once. I had to reconsider my I had to consider my life decisions. You've seen me with a beard. That was in my ZZ Top phase.
You're more like Hagrid because you had the hair as well, didn't you?
Yeah, but ZZ Top have long hair too.
Oh, Clown X says he's in Salem, Mass Witch Trials Town today. So he's in
good for Clown X. Not to be confused with Freighter X. Yep.
Yeah. Who's Brother X?
Yeah, he was. He's a Freemason that wrote an expose on Freemasonry, if you can believe it.
Not to be confused with some young lad. So, are you ready for the year?
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about.
We went to the
cream
year
of some young guy.
Not much has changed, but they now worship Trump.
Shit themselves. Oh, hey, just as a brief aside, I recently watched the two Batman films, the ones with Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, more commonly known as the Tim Burton Batmans.
Oh, okay. So, I was watching it.
The animated series sprung out of that.
Yeah, because they used the same theme tune. It's a really good theme tune too.
Danny Elfman.
So anyway, was watching that. Yeah, very good.
Danny Elfman, and now we've got Hans Zimmer with his ba 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 ba.
Hans Zimmer is not a good composer. He's just not.
Anyway, he's done some good stuff. So there's a couple of really good bits on the Man of Steel soundtrack, but
I just brief aside. Batman, that Prince does the music in the first film, and then the second film they're having
Hobbit,
a ball, and it's
Batman,
like a jazz ring.
Now you've watched Batman Returns, just remember there was a Happy Meal associated with that film.
That's yes, with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. That's definitely what you're happy
Sexual misconduct, throwing women out of windows, murdering models.
Oh God, Catwoman, meow. Fucking hell, she was a bit of all right.
BDSM costumes, toxic waste, biting people's noses off. What a fucking film! Honestly, you do need to. Anybody who hasn't does need to revisit Batman Returns. It is a fucking wild film.
Well, watch both of them because anyway, there's a ball and they're playing a jazz rendition of one of Prince's songs, and I was like, I know that song. Where have I heard it before? Oh, it's by Prince. Can't remember what song it's called. It's just, I know it's by Prince. I don't know which.
I think a lot of people moan about the Batman soundtrack because there's two soundtracks. You can buy the score and the Prince soundtrack for the original Batman.
Oh right. Why don't they do it like a double album? One side it's like Prince songs, and then the other side it's like here's the sound, or just call it the motion picture soundtrack.
Yeah, if you play the Lego games, the early ones, they used pretty much the Danny Elfman Batman score for most of it.
All right, cool.
So 1 and 2, if you like that soundtrack, play Lego Batman, the original one.
Yeah, nice. There's a game I've played before, Interdimensional. You probably see me play Surviving Mars, the city builder on Mars, Terraform. I found a mod for it called Tiberian Sun Radio, so I've actually I never really played it that much, but the music left an impression on me because I'm listening to it and I was like, oh, I remember this song. It's just been nice listening to the Tiberian Sun soundtrack.
That what is it? The Wipeout soundtrack's really good. The game's there, but the soundtrack's really good.
Oh yeah, I mean that was basically when the Sony's marketing department actually knew what they were doing and how to appeal to a demographic.
What do you
whereas
mean?
now
Record was a raging success.
Yeah, and Dustborn too.
And that upcoming one with the woman with the brain surgery haircut.
What? Bride of Frankenstein?
No, the woman with the shaved hair down the side of her head.
Oh God! Look, can we just say this is the "I hate my father" haircut, and I want to look like an ugly lesbian? No, nobody needs that haircut.
I prefer brain surgery haircut because it looks like you had some sort of brain surgery, doesn't it?
Have you had your skull opened up? Have you got a tumor? Is that why you make poor life decisions? Do you get given a flat by the council and then you set it on fire because you think that a cardboard box is a suitable receptacle as an ashtray?
The 28 days later.
Do you
remember Cillian Murphy when he comes out of the hospital and he's got the same haircut, hasn't he?
Is it because you've got brain problems? You think that when you've been babysitting, because you actually get trusted to do babysitting, you decide that Basket Case is a suitable film to show to 5-year-olds?
I thought it was The Thing.
The Thing and Basket Case.
Oh, it was double bill, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this woman's name is Neil for some reason.
Remember, kids. Also, free the sausages.
Yes, the sausages.
Free the sausages.
What? Yeah, I was talking to my dad about that actually, and because I was mentioning about doing gardening and using an Allen sieve.
Ian says about Batman. He said you could see Catwoman's camel foot in that outfit. You could clearly make out a VW Beetle bonnet.
It was like, so this is like a children's show, right? Because Batman's for kids.
Remember, there's a deal associated with this film. Just watch it and remember that.
Do you know the 90s were a pretty wild time thinking about it, because it was just like, hey, there's like RoboCop lunchboxes, Rambo lunchboxes, yeah.
BDSM torture lunchboxes. I mean, Batman lunchboxes.
What Hellraiser lunchboxes? Surprised they didn't do a Hellraiser Happy Meal.
Hellraiser kids cartoon.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, they did a pilot episode. Never went beyond that though. Of a Toxic Avenger. Saturday morning cartoon.
There's a Nightmare on Elm Street TV series.
Well, there was a RoboCop cartoon. I mean, that was the one which was sort of well known. Hey, do you know the funny thing is? I thought
that good. You ever seen RoboCop the cartoon? He just keeps running out of battery all the time. They needed something so he wasn't too OP, so he just kept running out of battery all the time.
The writers don't know how to write a show.
Yeah.
Great.
You can see obviously because he runs out of about 3/4 of the way into the episode. He runs out of battery, or halfway into the episode, every time.
Well, the other bit, which sort of, I just sort of say, I knew we're doing a show.
That was RoboCop 3.
Oh yeah, I mean that was considered the peak of the show, and they were like, we're never going to top this. We'll never make a sequel, so they didn't. And the bit which is a thing, right? Now I knew we were doing a show tonight because I'm a consummate professional, as everybody that's listened for a number of shows will be able to just tell. They can just tell. Now, here's the thing. Consummate professional that I am, I thought, you know what, I'm not hungry, I won't bother eating. And I've got my meal on the boiler, actually, because it's like, the boiler's got to be on, may as well use it. I'm actually fucking starving now. Can you cover me whilst I stir the pot?
Yeah, I'll cover you.
Oh, I'll just be like a few minutes. Cheers.
So, I've been to the year 2000. Not much has changed, but they don't live underwater. Yeah, I don't know. Has anything Fortean? Just waiting for Hobbit to come back, and then we can let's see. Let's have a look on X. See what Fortean brings up. Oh, someone called Ian Fortean's at the top, with no idea who he is. Oh, I wonder where Dennis Pilch's stuff is. I bet Hobbit knows he is. He had a Fortean tape service back in the day and had several lecture vids on tape. Some archive must have this collection of tapes anywhere. What else we got there? Oh, and the NSA created Signal, apparently. All your little secrets being dropped right into their sewers. What else we got in here? What we are calling aliens may lack... So, Jacques Keel, 14777 on X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. What we are calling aliens may lack a component that we call the soul, but they don't quite understand death. They know it's not the end for us, we continue on. Is this hybrid business about hijacking humanity as a means to be born in the true sense? Could be. I've heard this theory go on for quite a while. Oh, Halloween Spooktacular. Thursday, the 31st. And it's going to be on the 31st, so it truly is going to be a spooktacular. That doesn't say anything about 14. What else have we got here?
Right.
Oh, Hobbit, do you know who... Oh, who's this bloke this geezer's talking about? Have you ever heard of Dennis Pilichis?
No. Now, who's writing about this?
I just had a search under the 14 on X. So he says, I wonder where Dennis Pilichis' stuff is. He had a 14 tape service back in the day and had several lecture vids on tape. Some archive must have a collection of tapes somewhere. He seems like a UFO guy.
I was going to say, that sounds new to me. Funny enough, like the guy I listen to for my entertainment, Richie Milkis, he occasionally does a stream on YouTube where he watches the 90s UFO stories, and he's laughing in it because he says, this is such bullshit. You know, when the internet came about, these guys all scurried away because now, like, they can't hide their lies. And you could tell they're just there for a grift. I've watched. It's not a it's a serialized set of films, isn't it? I've watched some of the 1940s Batman stuff. And
did you know the NSA created Signal? Apparently,
doesn't surprise me.
I don't know who ever used it. Did Brutus try and get us on there, or was that another one?
I don't care, but he probably said, "I'll use."
That made us get on. That you never.
Matrix or something. I can't be asked with any of that stuff. Anyway, so we talk about Batman. I watched some of the 1940s one. I watched the first episode, the Electric Brain.
Yeah.
And now, bear in mind, this was released in 1943. I won't use some of the hyperbolic language that they use because YouTube would be upset if we're describing Japs with the adjectives that this Columbia picture used.
It's very Japanophobic, isn't it?
So, one of the things I can say is our wise government locked up the adjectives used to describe Japs to keep the Americans safe. Now, there's this Japanese crime lord. He's going to turn people into zombies.
Well, you say he's Japanese, but he does look like a Hispanic man with makeup
Mexican.
On. He may well be a Hispanic man with makeup on.
Are you telling me they did the same thing to him, what they did with Sean Connery in, that film where they make him...
No, you're forgetting the best. The best one is, what's his name? John Wayne. It's John Wayne as, who did he play? Genghis Khan, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, he's a dead ringer for Genghis Khan, but I just loved how James Bond's flawless disguise, like, everyone will think he's Japanese, give him some buck teeth and slitty eyes, and it's like, Oh yeah, now he's a Jap. I mean, never mind the fact that he's standing head and shoulders above all the rest of them. Nobody will spot that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't able to suspend disbelief for that James Bond film. Normally, I quite like the gadgets and the. Well, yeah, no, the Batman one I thought was quite good actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a good show. But more of that, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you it was quite funny. It's just the language they use. It's not very PC, is it?
They don't pull any punches when it comes to how they're describing evildoers and villains. Yeah.
And it's also
Does the Joker make
trigger warning. It's very Japanophobic.
Funny enough, I was watching it. I was just like, my God, American propaganda. It's as subtle now as it was back then.
It's just the subject's changed.
That's it, pretty much. Like they've always really been a bit. What's the word? Ham-fisted. Sort of like they take a sledgehammer to a wall.
Why they switched to doing it through sci-fi, because they could be more ham-fisted, but it could still go over people's heads because they're alien species, right?
Well, it just seems that the American approach to subtlety is to hit a wall, crack open a walnut with a sledgehammer.
A garbage truck.
A garbage truck?
Garbage truck.
Garbage truck. That's the word.
Garbage.
Oh yeah, as opposed to the bin lorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we love the bin lorries, don't we?
Not much has changed, but they.
Won't it be strange once we're all fully grown?
What are the Moonies doing in 2000? Won't it be strange?
Not even the
Korean Trump.
They're all fully grown up. Not even the Korean governor knows what to do. Oh.
Wood chip. Why is wood chip gone? That song always just makes me think of wood chip.
With wood chip on the walls.
Whatever happened? Wood chip is a 14 substance, because once you put that on a wall, it's not going anywhere, is it?
You know, I was about 13 at the time, and my dad had rented.
You demolish your house if you want to get rid of wood chip on the wallpaper.
Actually, I probably wasn't even 13. I was probably about 11 at the time, 11 or 12. My dad had hired this steam stripper. You know, you place it on the wall, and then you can lift off wallpaper. Because I had wood chip wallpaper. It was this 1960s house. In fact, it was built. I remember this because December the 21st, 2012. Was a very memorable year for me because we had a street party in our street, as that's when it was open 50 years ago. So one of the neighbours, he'd been living there since the opening of that street I was on, and yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, this isn't Masonic at all. Imagine your street was opened up in December the 21st, 1962. Only wood chip on the wall. Grandad comes in, he's watching me doing work, and he says, "Gaw, I envy you." And I said, "What? Do you want to go?" He says, "No, that's all right. It's just I've never had a stripper in my room."
Oh, and I bet that went straight over your little autistic head, didn't it?
Actually, no, I knew what strippers were back then.
Oh, right.
No, I got a joke for you guys, right? You ready for this, yeah? How do you start a toy race? Ready? Teddy, go. Yeah. You heard of it then?
How'd you get down off an elephant?
No, you get down off a duck, not an elephant. Hey, how do you know if an elephant's been in your fridge?
Footprints in the butter.
Yeah. Who keeps butter in the fridge?
Yeah.
I only keep it in the fridge.
You gotta be a bit weird to do that, aren't you?
Only if it's
how do you know if an elephant's under your bed?
Oh, your nose touches the ceiling.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right?
Mickey Rooney also did Yellowface. Yeah, fuck. What did Mickey Rooney do Yellowface in? I can't remember.
Mickey Rooney? Oh, not to be confused with Wayne Rooney.
Yeah. Look very similar.
Yeah.
Everyone in the 80s did Yellow Phase. Even John Craven was watching it today. What?
I
Why
don't
did he
follow.
mix past and current tense? That really confused me.
Yeah. Can you rephrase the question, but for a dumber audience, please? Because
Breakfast
we
at
have
Tiffany's. Apparently, in breakfast, and she said, "I want breakfast at Tiffany's." Do you remember that song?
Okay. No.
I
Sorry.
kind of liked it. About the movie, isn't it? The song's about the movie. Do you not remember that gun from the 90s? And she said something about breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, is that
and
by?
I kind of liked it. That one.
Is that by the Divine Comedy?
No, it's some Yankee band.
Oh no, they sung something for the weekend.
She said, "There's something in the woodshed.
That's
It's
the
such
one.
a funny feeling, darling."
Something for the weekend. Yeah. I don't know
They
who
also
did
did
the
the theme
breakfast.
tune to Father Ted. Did you know that?
Yes, I remember. I actually read the lyrics, the credits on Father Ted.
No, not film, song.
Song?
Was it Bright Blue something they were called, weren't they? Deep Blue something.
The one I always liked was it was sort of late 90s was Manson. They did a song called Wide Open Space. I always thought that was a good song.
And I said, "What about breakfast at Tiffany's?" She said, "I think I remember."
Oh yeah.
As I recall, I think we both kind of liked it. And I said, "Well, that's one thing we got."
Is that the one which said, don't go waiting for a miracle?
No, you've got two
All
songs
these
together.
things will come to yeah, it's just, it was all from that sort of era, yeah. Yeah.
How come Ubermensch account is blocked? No idea. Probably you just going off on one after a couple of beers. Oh shit! No, what was that other song you just said the lyric to?
Oh, don't go waiting for a miracle. All these things will come to be. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
no,
dun.
you got me. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. You must know it. Da, da, da.
I do, and it's one I listen to regular. I know it is.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, this could fade away. And I'm
Dun,
coming
dun,
home.
dun,
Oh, it's
I'm coming home. Ooh,
it's the Blue Tones.
Yeah.
I'm
coming.
The Blue Tones. Slight Return. That's what it is. The Blue Tones. Slight Return.
That seems really weird. Name for a song.
It is.
I don't. A Slight Return.
I'm sure that's what
I don't get it.
Hold on a sec. Yeah. I couldn't find it by looking at it. I had to use my brain to do that. I'm pretty sure it's called Slight Return. It's a weird. You are right. It is a weird. Yeah. It's a song by English indie rock band The Blue Tones.
Great. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, Manson, Wide Open
Find
Space.
Slight Return from later with Jules Holland. What happened to Jules Holland's neck? Because he hasn't got one, has he? Is it from playing?
I don't know.
Is that what happens when you play jazz piano too much? Your neck disappears.
Do you remember the time he had that beautiful transsexual, Stunning and Brave, and the Aborigines, and they're making a wonderful duet together?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it is. I want to say it is probably the peak of Jules Holland.
I think
it's absolutely.
Jules Holland would be "Don't Be Rama Rama." I think Jules Holland and the Jazz Orchestra should do "Don't Be Rama Rama."
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because basically it's this beautiful, touching melody played by the transsexual, that Stunning and Brave, on the piano, and then she stops playing, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? These Aboriginals. So the two very old, beautiful elders that are wonderful. And we have so much to learn from them. Get their sticks, tap them together, and start going.
This sounds familiar.
If you type, I'm sure if I type Aborigines later with Jules Holland, we'll find this wonderful clip. Aborigines
What's the point anyway?
later with
song.
Jules Holland. Yeah, because you mentioned that Jules Holland. Oh, there we go. Anthony and the Johnsons.
Right over to Jules Holland's YouTube account right now, but don't.
Yeah, yeah. You can go there right now, but I suggest you don't. Is this the one?
Are you back to doing that again, Hobbit? Just go and watch this instead of watching us. Do you remember when you used to do that all the time?
Well, I'm always saying to people, look, there's references which Aborigines, fucking hell,
native peoples of something.
They're abos.
Are they being Rama Rama?
No, they weren't doing the Rama Rama duet because when they came in the handlers,
Rama Rama, don't be Rama Rama.
Well, the handlers told them that there's no petrol to sniff in England. We all use diesel.
Tony Blair got everyone to buy diesel.
Yeah. I see if I can. No, can't find it. It's lost. I'm telling you, it was late. Oh, Anthony, You're My Sister. Is this the one?
Anthony, You're My Sister.
Yes, I found it.
Put it in the Fortean Telegram. People have got to find it there then.
This is Fortean, right? Because look, I'm just laughing in joy, okay? I'm touched by this beautiful music. Is this It makes me laugh with joy that something so beautiful could exist, and I'm really touched by it.
Yeah.
We are truly blessed to live in such wonderful times.
And remember, kids, don't be Rama Rama.
Don't be Rama Rama.
Yeah.
Don't sleep in the street.
Don't be Rama Rama. Is that part of being Rama Rama, falling asleep in the street?
Don't sleep in the street. That's dangerous.
If you are going to sleep in the street, don't sleep in the street.
Just don't. No. Just don't do it. If you're thinking about sleeping in the street, just carry on walking. Nobody needs to sleep in the street.
Wait till you get home and then go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sleep in your bed. That's
Hobbit, you really don't want to do Moonies Part 2, do you? You don't want to hear what the Moonies got up to in the year 2000.
Full disclosure, I've been paid a sizable amount of money by the Moonies.
Big Mooney nobbled you.
Not to talk about the Moonies. And that's why I've been watching Batman instead of doing any research on this august, peaceful, wonderful society, which are much maligned by Western devils. There we go. I'll take my payment in pound sterling, please, or euros.
I found a bit of the
not Korean funny money.
I'm trying to find the creepy
not that there's anything
from the Moomins in the. Here you go.
Not that there's anything wrong with Korean funny money. It's just I don't know where I can use that. Well, apart from Korea. But I'm not going all the way to Korea. Just use them.
Have a look at the. I'm going to have to get rid of the Mooney logo for a sec. I know everyone's going to be really upset about that.
That's the new Fortean Words logo. What are you on about?
No, there's the Moonies.
There's
the Moonies. Yeah. So the one on the left is the Moonies I used to watch, and see how creepy and fucking weird that thing is.
Well, I mean, like a lot of stop motion, there is a bit something uncanny valley about it.
Yeah.
But the one in the middle, that's the Moomies that I know.
Yeah.
Moomins.
The Moonies. This is the Moonies. This is what everyone thinks about when people say, "Oh, we're going to talk about the Moonies this week on 14 Words."
This is your brain on Moonies.
What is that thing called with the hat on?
A bloke.
Moomin Troll is the white one, isn't it?
I actually don't know enough about Moomin lore to tell you who these people are. That's why I just know him as some bloke.
Yeah, creepy kid.
Yeah.
Moomins. Let's have a look at them. Let's pretend we got mixed up and look at the Moomins Wikipedia instead. Yeah,
because big Moomin have encouraged us to, you know, they're keeping everybody from the truth.
Swedish Hobbit.
It's a Swedish show.
It's Swedish. Oh, it's made by the central characters. Swedish Finnish writer.
Oh, so a bit like how Asterix and Obelix is sort of Italian French.
Yeah. Moomins inspired numerous television series, films, and 2 theme parks: Moomin World in Finland and Akabono. Everybody get on the floor. Everybody walk the Moomin saw.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. Akabono Children's Forest Park in Hano, Saitama, Japan.
Oh, well, yeah, it makes sense. The Japs would have a theme park. Do you know that the Japs have got a literal Netherlands theme park?
No.
It's what's the most?
So the Moomin family is Moomin Papa, Moomin Mama, and Moomin Troll.
This sounds like not as good as the Smurfs.
Other characters such as Hemulans, Sniff, the Snork Maiden, Snuffkin, and Little Mai. Snuffkin is the weird little elf thing.
Oh, I see. What, has he got like an obsession with death or something?
Don't know.
Just, I assume it's something that's lost in translation because Snuffkin gives me concerns.
So
but this is a children's
Moomin Valley, where the series is set, in which the Moomin family decides to live at the end of the Moomins and the Great Flood. Oh. Moomins survived the Great Flood.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were on Noah's Ark. Everyone knows that. What a strange
There's a character called Sniff. He's a creature who lives in the Moomin house. He likes to take part in everything, but he's afraid to do anything dangerous. Sniff appreciates all valuables and makes many plans to get rich, but does not succeed. That's because he's probably on the Sniff. Could that be why?
Is this Gargamel? This is the equivalent of Gargamel.
Snuffkin is Moomin's best friend. The lonesome philosophical traveller who likes to play the harmonica and wander the world with only a few possessions as not to make his life complicated. He comes and goes, so he's a bit of a tramp. He comes and goes as he pleases, he's carefree and has many admirers in Moomin Valley.
Cool.
Is that not a bit too, like, when he's fucking hippopotamus? There's not seriously a bit where he's, like, having sex with a hippopotamus, is there?
I think that's probably a Rule 34 thing rather than an actual Moomin's law. I don't think it's Moomin's... Dom Alfkick said maybe the real Moonies were the friends we made along the way. Yeah. Well, I'm not friends with in Korean.
We're all the people we married in the big stadium, I think. Moomin Truders. Says Dom. Anyway, back to the year 2000. Not much has changed, but they don't live underwater yet, because that's another 1,000 years after 2000.
Oh, is this Moomin lore? Are we like? Did the Koreans look at?
Do you remember when we went to the year 3000? Not much has changed, but they live underwater.
Well, that sounds vastly different. Is this a Prince song?
Not a lot's changed, only we live underwater. Well, that's quite a lot that's changed then, hasn't
it? Yeah.
Not a lot's changed, only we live on a different planet in space. Not a lot's changed other than that.
Not a lot's changed except we've given up lungs for gills.
Other than living underwater, not a lot has changed, Hobbit.
Also, we were opposed to opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
So You know, we took the readings of Ted Kaczynski to heart and realised that thumbs were the problem.
But other than that, a lot's changed.
Not a lot's changed, no. Bin still go out on a Saturday.
But your great-great-great-granddaughter looks pretty fine.
Do
you not remember the year 3000 by Busted?
I thought it was by Prince. I thought we were doing some sort of Prince song.
No,
no, he did Pipe Like It's 1999.
Yeah. Year 3000. I've got to read some lyrics from this Busted song because
I've put the boiler on full whack. I've got to turn it down.
Okay. Right. So let me. The Jonas Brothers. It weren't the fucking Jonas Brothers, weren't you, dickhead? So Hobbit will be back in a minute. Oh dear me. Oh, I'm dying. This change of weather's no good for me, people. Hobbit will be back in a minute, and then I'll show him the Titan crew live underwater. There's no need. No, there's just no need for that, is there, Dom? And I said, "What about breakfast at Tiffany's?" That's not my fault. That's oh shit. It's Jay Dyer. I was watching a Jay Dyer video and he was singing Breakfast at Tiffany's, and that's why I'm singing Breakfast. Like Jay Dyer, it's all your fault. Put techno beat behind it. That's from earlier. Hobbit is like normal wisdom on acid. This is just the new theme tune. Hobbit is doing his Norman Collier spot on as usual. Still colliering. Hemi's on the phone to IT. Yeah, all sorted. Come on, Hobbit. I can't bluster for much longer. I've got some more troubling content from children. And this is good old Busted. Yeah, you're gonna love the lyrics to this Hobbit when you get back. Fuck it, let's do some side bits from the 14 until Hobbit gets Called to Patton Middle School in McInnville, Oregon. Police took no chances investigating an item of concern found near the school running track. Pupils were kept in the school buildings. The bomb squad was called. The drone was sent in to photograph the item. A statement issued later said, after reviewing the photographs, the item was determined to be a dog waste bag dispenser that is manufactured to resemble a hand grenade, and the school was allowed to resume normal activities. Rob Richards from Birmingham cannot drive, but this has not prevented him being deluged with motoring fines. Parking charges, speeding fines, car hire bills and Dartford crossing tolls have all been sent to his home in Quinton, and he has been besieged by bailiffs demanding payment, although he's never held a driving licence. It's annoying and a nuisance, says Richards. If these companies put as much effort as chasing me as resolving the issues, it'd be sorted in a few days. 60-year-old woman living in a housing complex in Manchester, New Hampshire, fell into the skip at her housing complex on bin day and could not get out. Before anyone realised she was in there, the bin lorry scooped her up along the rest of the contents and dumped her in the back. She was compacted. You just went a bit
Japanese there. Did you say bin lorry?
She was compacted 4 times before the driver noticed. All you heard was screaming, said the neighbour. The woman was rescued with serious injuries but was expected to survive. That definitely was one for the books. I'm sure there's a joke about that somewhere. Right, Hobbit. Following on from our Batman content,
yes,
and me singing about the year 3000, I've got the lyrics from the year 3000 by Busted, and this was aimed at teenage girls.
Right.
Some of these are a bit weird. One day,
do anal sex with strangers?
No, it gets a bit weirder than that. One day, when I came home at lunchtime, I heard a funny noise. I went out to the backyard to find out if it was one of those rowdy boys. Stood there was my neighbour called Peter and a flux capacitor. He told me he built a time machine like the one in a film I've seen. Yeah. He said, well, obviously this bit is weird. I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is pretty fine. Does this mean Peter's shagged the main character's great-granddaughter?
It's no dick bicycle, wrist icicle, is it?
But he took me to the future in the Flux thing, and I saw everything. You shouldn't really rhyme thing and thing. It's not very good. Boy bands, and another one, and another one, and another one. Triple-breasted women swim around town totally naked. But not much has changed, Hobbit.
Fuck you.
We drove around in a time machine, like blah blah blah. I took a trip to the year 3000. This song had gone multi-platinum. Everyone bought our 7th album. It had outsold Michael Jackson. Not aging that well.
Nice self-aggrandizement there.
Yeah. I took a trip to the year 3000. This song had gone multi-platinum. Everybody bought our 7th album. Oh, just repeat that.
This is just like, well, in that case, it is like dick bicycle, wrist icicle.
Yeah.
Shimmy from side to side, 7th platinum, bollocks, dick bicycle, wrist bicycle.
Spoiler alert, the flux capacitor is his penis. So the flux capacitor is his neighbour's penis, and this is him pretending that he went in time and he'd not been molested by his neighbour.
Or the flux capacitor is in fact a date rape drug, and he's lost track of time. So he's travelled in time, you see.
Yeah. And his trousers are inside. What he said? I came back from the future, and my trousers were inside out. How did that happen?
Yeah, explain that, atheists. You can't
explain that, Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the? You know? Did you watch Sliders or not, Hobbit?
I did, unfortunately.
Do you remember? Wasn't there one where atheism reigned supreme, and it was like a scientific paradise?
There was probably more than one episode of that. I seem to remember one where, like, the nation's favourite sport was called Brain Ball.
What? I haven't seen this one. What's Brain Ball then?
It was in the first series. They go to this place and there's like this. You remember the dot matrix displays? With the amber LEDs.
Yeah.
And they're saying now, by popular demand, extended library opening hours. And people were listening to Mozart, and everyone was just like being an intellectual. And Wheaties is not the breakfast of champion; it's the breakfast of geniuses. Mallory's the main guy's face is on it, and he finds out he's a brain ball player, where they throw a ball into a hoop whilst answering like mastermind questions, basically.
Oh, did David Lammy play Brain Ball?
Wow, he was on the losing side.
So anyway, in the year 2000, I think I've done enough busted references. And then any more songs with year 2000 in them that you can think of?
Well, Ian mentions that the All Saints covered the Stranglers song. It's called "Beach" by All Saints. I was eating a peach, then I went to the beach. I cleaned the floor using bleach, then I went to the beach. Oh, okay, yeah, because I was going to say the Stranglers did it better.
Walking on the beaches, looking at the
peaches. Oh! We want to end up on a skewer, down in a sewer.
Yeah.
The Stranglers are great, aren't they? Do you know what the Stranglers is better are? Peaches.
What? So songs with 2000 in them. Oh, I've put 200. I want 2000. Let's find. Aren't search things are dead, aren't they?
Aren't search engines brilliant?
Songs from the year 2000. That's not what I'm asking for, is it? I literally wrote songs with 2000 in them.
Aren't search engines brilliant? You put a term into them, and they don't find what you look for.
And they throw back
brilliant.
What they think you want.
It's almost like we're returning to a pre-internet time where you just have to make up your own facts because you can't find them anymore.
So I would do some amusing songs with 2000 in them, but I can't.
You know what they should do? They should have like a version of Wikipedia that's in print form that you can read offline.
Let's try.
I think they'd sound well.
Because half of the battle is songs containing the word.
Songs to watch girls go by. No, that's music to watch girls
Lyrics
go by.
containing the Rain 2000.
The guys watch the girls, watch the girls, watch the guys watching on them by. Eye to eye. Music to watch girls by. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics.
2000 deluxe edit, Grand Pooba.
Yeah.
2000 and Watts, Michael Jackson. Super Magic 2000. Frank's 2000 TV. I haven't seen this one. That's a Weird Al Yankovic song.
Oh, yeah. I need to listen to more Weird Al Yankovic. I'd probably enjoy
2000 Blues, ZZ Top.
I got annoyed with him when he did that Lordy parody song about tinfoil. And I was like, Weird Al Yankovic, why are you personally attacking me? What have I ever done to you? Apart from not pay for any of songs.
Do you know the R.E.M.'s? Do you know the song Stand by R.E.M.? You know, stand in the place where you live.
Oh, okay.
Now,
yeah, that sounds like an R.E.M.
He did one about that, but it's called Spam. Spam in the can. That's a really good one, though.
Is R.E.M. did the song "It's the End of the World as We Know It"?
Yeah. It's the
end
of the world as we know it. Right, fucking.
And
we've wasted nearly an hour, Hobbit. We are going to have to finish the Moonies tonight.
My God, it's incredible.
So, in the year 2000, Moon founded the World Association of Non-Governmental Organisations. Yes, he's fucking at it again. Wango. He could have taken the O off and just called it Wang, couldn't he? That would have been better, wouldn't it?
Wang.
That looks just like a Johnson. What are you doing?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's good. I can't remember what that's from.
Austin Powers.
Oh
there's
yeah,
there's the rocket that looks like a cock and balls, isn't it?
Hmm. Yep.
That rocket looks just like a Wang, or the World Association of Non-Governmental Organisations, as it's known.
Wang.
Which describes itself as a global organisation whose mission is to serve its member organisations, strengthen and encourage the non-governmental sector as a whole, increase public understanding of the non-governmental community, and provide the mechanism and support needed for NGOs to connect, partner and multiply their contributions to solve humanity's basic problems. It's been criticised for promoting conservatism in contrast to some of the ideals of the United Nations. So
it needs to be bad. Criticised.
It's bad because it conservative, not communist.
Oh yeah, that's why it's bad. Not because it's a complete bunch of word salad bamboozle me with bullshit.
The United Nations said, "Hey, that's our word salad, and if you're going to do something like this, it really should be communist."
Yeah, you need to be promoting anal sex to children in Africa per UNICEF Directive 621.
Hey, has Bill Gates been up all in your shit and had a look at everything? Because if he hasn't, then you haven't got a proper international community.
No, exactly. If Bill Gates is in it, I don't want it.
In 2000, the FFWPU. I'm not looking. Look at last week's episode. These fuck Mooney and his fucking shitty names from.
But this is the thing as well. It's like he makes up all these organisations, and they got all these like weird, convoluted names for them. And I'm sure that it's literally designed to be like, I'll make these confusing names, no one can recognise it. It to me, it just sounds like he's trying to do tax fraud.
Is it? You read these and you go, I'm just going to call them the Moonies. So it's always called the Moonies, but it's never actually officially in law called the Moonies. Therefore, tax efficient.
I'm sure it's just a layer of obfuscation to make it harder to audit.
Yeah,
it's got to be that.
I mean, imagine that you're there in the IRS. You've written out the World Association for Non-Governmental Organisations for the 50th time while doing the tax return. You're like, fuck this. They can get away with their taxes. I'm not interested.
I just referred to it as the Moonies tax fiddle. So anyway, the Moonies tax fiddle went on to do what?
So the FFWPU co-sponsored the Million Family March, a rally in Washington, D.C. to celebrate family unity, racial and religious harmony, along with the Nation of Islam.
Yeah,
Louis Farrakhan, the man who's the most how do you describe it? Like a man who just wants to bring people together, doesn't he?
Before you get into that, I was going to say, Nation of Islam, really known for racial unity amongst disparate groups.
Racial and religious harmony. Like, when you think like racial and religious harmony, is the Nation of Islam the first organisation you think of?
Racial and religious harmony is the byline for the Nation of Islam.
I think it's in their. I think it's in their mission statement, isn't it? We are all for racial and religious harmony.
The
way Louis Farrakhan talks about our friends that like to go to synagogue, he's a real big fan of them, isn't he? Like, he really wants religious harmony with those guys, doesn't he?
Who's blacker, David Lammy or Louis Farrakhan?
I don't know. Louis Farrakhan looks like a high step in yellow, doesn't he?
But there needs to be like a debate between David Lammy and Louis Farrakhan on who the true black man is. Because you know, there needs to be, whoever loses it has to renounce their blackianity.
Yeah. So Louis Farrakhan was the main speaker at the Racial and Religious Harmony event, which was held on the 16th of October 2000, the 5th anniversary of the Million Man March.
Got his took notes on how to diffuse a tense situation.
Which was also organised by Farrakhan. The FFWPU leader, Dan Pfefferman, wrote to his colleagues acknowledging that Farrakhan's and Moon's views differed on multiple issues, but shared a few of God-centred family. Well, doesn't the Nation of Islam, like, I don't want to be that guy, by definition, isn't it more of an Allah-centred family, not God?
So, somebody pointed out that the Nation of Islam is neither a nation nor Islamic.
That's just low-hanging fruit, Hobbit. I can't believe you would say such a thing.
Well, it's what I've been told, basically. And I refute these spurious accusations.
It's like a phrase like fresh frozen.
Oh, fresh frozen. That's an oxymoron.
In 2003, Korean FFWPU members started a political party in South Korea, the Party for God, Peace, Unification and Home. Another snappy fucking title that's just going to drip off the tongue.
Look, when King Jong-il says, "Oi, Hobbit," you're not Prime Minister.
Do these names lose a bit in translation? Is that what have we just got to assume that?
Look, when King Jong-il Un-sung, whatever the current leader of North Korea is, says, "I'm appointing you Minister for sorting out Korean affairs," the first thing I'm going to do is ban the Moonies for the crime of coming up with convoluted names.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe they're really snappy names in Korean. I don't know. Do we have any Korean speakers in the audience?
Yeah. Come on, our large Korean population.
Yeah.
Help us out here.
Rooftop Forteans.
Mm.
An inauguration declaration stated the new party would focus on preparing for Korean unification by educating the public about God and peace. An FFW... I'm sure Kim Jong-un is all about God and peace. Which one? Is it Un? Is it Un, the current one? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I think Sun was the first, Il was the middle, and the latest one is called Moon?
Un, isn't it?
Moon, something runner.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the leader of North Korea. That's Kim Jong-un, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Since 2003, the FFWPU related Universal Police... Oh, God. Universal Peace Federation Middle East Peace Initiative. What? Jesus Christ. They've named another organisation, Hobbit. The Universal Peace Federation's Middle East Peace Initiative.
Do you think, like, with the Moonies, their job is like, okay, guys, what committee can we come up with this week? Oh, a chairman, I've got a proposition. What's that? What if, instead of coming up with a new committee every week, what if we come up with, like, 5 new committees every week? Yep, see to it, then.
Shouldn't they just have a committee for spitting out committees? 10 a day or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they're doing, isn't it?
So that's been organising group tours of Israel and Palestine to promote understanding, respect, reconciliation amongst Jews, Muslims and Christians.
Well, good. I'm so glad they're doing that.
Well, they did a fucking sterling... They've been doing a sterling job for the past 20 years, haven't they?
I think they said, right, our job's done here. Time to move on to, let's see, Darfur, Burma, Sudan. Yeah, where needs a bit of our magic touch?
Somalia. We're gonna clean up the Central African Republic next.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll help out in Haiti.
Yeah.
Where in the world could not, everybody could benefit from the touch of the Moonies.
Yeah. So on the 15th of August 2012, Moon was reported to be gravely ill and was put on a respirator at the intensive care unit of St Mary's Hospital at the Catholic University of Korea in Seoul. Why didn't he go to the Mooney University of Korea?
What's up with that then, Moonies? Why are you depending on the Catholic hospitality?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, someone was like on Twitter saying like, well, you religious folk, if it wasn't for us atheists, you wouldn't have hospitals. And it's like, you fucking idiot. Don't you know where hospitals came from? And like proceed to talk about Knights Hospitalier and how it's literally it's a bunch of monks that set up the first hospitals. It were Christians. They were like, my Christian duty is to heal the sick and poor.
Is it so Mooney at the Catholic University of Korea Hospital? Is that where the phrase "you get no Moonies in a foxhole" comes from?
I don't know. I've not heard that one before.
Have you not heard the phrase "you get no atheists in a foxhole"?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, well, this is where the phrase "you get no Moonies in a foxhole." Obviously,
right.
You know he got the last rights the lot where he edged his bets.
Yeah. These Koreans are a weird bunch, aren't they?
They are strange.
They're really, really weird. You're weird, Eddie Hitler.
He was admitted on 14th of August 2012 after suffering from pneumonia earlier in the month. Died there on the 3rd of September. So 2012, is that the prophecy? Mooney died. So, Hobbit. Moon's dead. What do the Moonies do next, Hobbit?
They make Mecha Mooney and they put his corpse inside the mech suit.
Soon after Moon's death, the Global Peace Foundation, or the Get Money Gang, they should have got into gangs, shouldn't they? They had some great names for gangs, wouldn't they?
Well, they are gangs.
Which had been founded in 2009 by Moon and Han's son Hyun Jin Moon and church leader Chung Hwang Kwak. That's his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Federal
University of Catholic Koreans.
From the FFWPU, a bit like the Ripper when Jimmy Savile died. Do you remember that when the Yorkshire Ripper said, "I'm not so keen on that Jimmy Savile guy. Don't lump me in with him."
Well, I disavow anything that Sir Jimmy Savile, MBE, OBE, Knight of the Garter, does. Yeah.
So distance
which includes fixing it for Sir Keir Starmer because those. Well, never mind.
So which is led by Han. Han who? Han Solo? I don't know.
Oh, I'd like some ham.
Yeah.
I haven't had any for a while.
The FFPW was invented by Han. I'm paraphrasing the young ones there. Do you remember that? Crop rotation was considerably before John. In 2012, they also founded the Family Peace Association because obviously not enough committees. They're like, you know what the old guard weren't doing enough of? They weren't doing enough.
We need more committees, not less, damn you.
Committees.
We need the committee to come up with committees.
Under the previous moon, not enough committees. We need more committees. So
they're almost as good at. I'd say they're probably better than a local Labour council when it comes up to coming committees and quangos.
They're just banging out. They're just banging out focus groups and NGOs like there's no tomorrow, aren't they?
If you need a committee formed, the Moonies can help you.
Yeah, and they'll name
if you can find them, if you can fill out their application form, then the Moon team will come to you. Ding dong ding, ching chang chong, pink chong ching, ching chong chong ching. That's the Mooney theme tune, right?
So in 2014, Moon and Han's younger son, Hyung Jin Moon and Kook Jin Moon, founded the Rod of Iron Ministries. Now, Rod of Iron Ministries, Hobbit.
Oh, Rod of Iron.
You say that's boring. That needs a snappier name, didn't you?
I don't know. The Rod of Iron sounds pretty good, actually.
Well, they've invented an even snappier name for it because it's also known as the World Peace and Unification Sanctuary Church.
Oh, now that is far catchier. Their marketing team is world class. Can you imagine what word instead of the iPhone?
I'm reading out a glossary. It just feels like reading out a glossary, doesn't it?
It is. I really would love to see what the name they'd come up with for the iPhone.
How the fuck do they keep up with the accounts for all of these millions of fucking quangos that they create?
That's the neat thing. They don't, and nobody else can.
So it's been controversial for its advocacy of private ownership of firearms and for its support of the January the 6th United States Capitol attack. The worst attack in this or any other democracy.
Wait, so they actually came out and said, look, we need to take time out of our busy committee forming schedule to endorse the January the 6th peaceful tour of the Capitol building.
But it's controversial because they advocated literally one of the founding pillars of America, so that's controversial.
Yes.
Private ownership of firearms is pretty much
and freedom of speech.
Is it the number one or the number two? I can never remember which one's what. Is one
number two is the firearms. Number one is the yeah.
So literally the number two most important thing in America is apparently controversial.
All right. Okay. Cool story, bro.
Yeah. So do you their beliefs? Do you want to know what their beliefs are, Hobbit?
Boy, howdy! Is it to come up with committees for every day on Earth?
I think so. So Moon's book.
You know that story in Genesis where God said he took all the animals and plants to Adam and says, "You've got to come up with names for this."
Yeah.
Well, the Koreans were like, "Hold on to my fermented cabbage sewage water."
So Moon's book, The Divine Principle, was, he claimed, revealed to him over a period of 9 years after he claimed Jesus appeared to him on Easter Sunday 1936 on the mountainside and asked him to continue the work that he could not finish while he was on earth. So Jesus had nearly 2,000 years off and he was like, I better do something. I'm just going to hand it off to Mooney.
Those hard-working Koreans.
Yeah. Right. Now, no joking when I tell you what it was published as. So
I am as sober as a judge. Let's hear it.
So, he asked him to continue the work he could not finish while he was on Earth due to the tragedy of his crucifixion. It was pretty deliberate. I don't think it was a tragedy. It was first published as Woolly Wonbon. Go for it, Hobbit. I know what you're going to say.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm sorry. These... It's like, how can you make a parody of somebody that makes a parody of themselves?
Why does he call it Willy Bum Bum? I don't know.
I don't know, but they do.
which is called the original text of the Divine Principle. It's still with the snappy names. The earliest manuscript was lost in North Korea during the Korean War. A second expanded version, Wonli Hesol, or Explanation of the Divine Principle, was published in... So Willy means divine principle?
Yep. And Bum Bum means good thing.
Original text.
Yep. Lamal bottom text.
Yeah, the Divine Principle, or Exposition of the Divine Principle, Wally Gangon, is the main theological... Fucking hell.
Willy Gangon?
Why can't he just... Willy Gangon. Willy Bum Bum.
Willy Gangon. Isn't that a song by the Gingangu? Gingangu.
Willy Gingangu.
Gingangu.
So
is this just
Mooney?
like Korea's...
Have we been singing Mooney hymns all these years?
Is this just like the longest troll by the Koreans? Like, we come up with this great idea. It'll be everyone love it. It's such a good joke. They think we're being serious. They think we're really serious about this. That's even funnier.
Right, so blah, 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 blah. More books. David Vaclavic and Susan Lusney described the details of those 3 points as follows. 1. Principle of creation. God, it reads like fucking stereo instructions. It's awful. The first principle states that God created the world in his image. All of reality is then composed of bipolarities. The basic bipolarity is expressed by the term sung-sang, inner character, or the inner invisible aspect of the created world, and the hyungsang, the outer form, or the outer visible aspect of the created world.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
He's not one to like he's not snappy. He's not an ad man, is he? He's not like snappy. You know, you got 30 seconds to get this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, like Apple, if the Apple want to like be successful, they'll get on the dog and bone to these guys and say, "Oh, you guys, can you help us with our ad campaign?"
Hey, we're Apple and we're just not pretentious enough. Can we have some help from the Moonies?
Look, we need a really snappy name that's really going to appeal to the consumers for our new happening device product.
In addition to this, there's another bipolar. Isn't that a tripolarity then? Denoted by the terms yin and yang. Have you ever heard of those before, Hobbit? Because
I've heard of yin and yang.
No,
I see. Yeah,
no, you haven't. Mooney made it up.
Oh, it was just a joke.
Yeah,
we made it up. This didn't happen. This one's a work of fiction.
Oh god! The first mentioned bipolarity of Hung Sang and Hyung Sang reflects the relationship between soul, mind, and body, while Yin Yang reflects the relationship.
I remember that. They were a dance group in the 1990s, like New Jack Swing, soul, mind, and body.
Yeah, soul, mind, and matter, or body. So it's soul brackets mind and matter brackets body.
Oh, well, that really...
Didn't they get to number one with Baby I Want Your Love thing?
There's this schizophrenic, goes by the name of Jack Star. The stuff he says is more coherent than whatever this is.
Well,
what did the Koreans...
Jack Star on.
What did the Koreans think of this?
I don't know.
Oh no, he's a bit too Fortean.
Yeah. Well, yin yang reflects the relationship between femininity and masculinity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Higher. All
right.
Isn't that supposed to be a scale now? It's pretty bigoted, isn't it? Hierarchy described by the first. Is it? Is it a? Can you get tab A slot into tab B? Hierarchy described by the first principle, the basis of the four positions, then guarantees order in the world. God or higher... No wonder these people just get mass married. Oh God, it's awful. It's terrible. God or higher purpose is placed highest, in the middle of man and woman, and finally children are placed as the result. As Vaclavic and Lusney further characterise the doctrine, God is an absolute reality transcending time and space. The fundamental energy of God's being is also eternal. By the action of this energy, entities enter into a relationship with each other, the basis of which is the activity of giving and receiving. Pitching and catching, I believe they call it. The goal is to achieve a balanced and harmonious relationship of giving and receiving, i.e. love. According to the teachings of the church, why are people married at random then? The highest level of relationship is a relationship with God. By properly developing the relationship of giving and receiving, it should be possible to achieve union with God. Good Lord. So the principle I'm skipping some because this is it's terrible. God created man in his own image. The second blessing was to be fulfilled through Adam and Eve by establishing an ideal family that was pure and loving, but they failed to do so. The third blessing concerns man's position as a meditator between God and nature. Man is to master nature in order to perfect himself, and nature itself thus create the kingdom of heaven. The principle then describes 3 stages of growth of everything, including man.
Why does God need a mediator between man and nature? Like, it says in the Bible, we are the custodians, the stewards of the world.
Well, it's
of God's creation.
Different Christianity, isn't it?
Oh, I see. Yeah, but there's no copyright in the Bible.
Well, he's just,
hedging his bets.
He's a man who likes to cross the T's and dot the I's. Therefore, he's got to make it 75%, just in case Games Workshop buy the Bible or something.
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them.
Start suing the church.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't copyright. Couldn't they sneakily copyright the Bible? I do hope the Pope's already copyrighted the Bible, because Games Workshop will definitely do
that. Yes, but let's not talk about the litigious nature of Games Workshop, because we love our Games Workshop.
So the next stage is the fall of man. According to the teaching of the church, there was no fulfillment of God's plan. God endowed man with free will and responsibility. Pretty much the Bible. Like everything in the universe, Adam and Eve went through 3 phases of development: origin, growth, and completion. This part describes that before completion could occur, the orientation of the give and take relationship was reversed when Eve established sexual relationship with Satan. Oh, she banged Satan in Mooneyism. Thus occurred...
Oh, right, because it was supposed to be Lilith. No, Eve wasn't corrupted.
Yeah. Thus occurred the fall of man and the creation of a world with Satan at the centre, and all men have become children of Satan. According to this belief, the world is from that time dominated by Satan's lineage through the human race, and men with even evil natures transmit evil. Through their children they create evil families, and thus an evil world. It's kind of fairly sensible, that bit.
That's not far from the truth.
Yeah. So next is the principle of restoration. According to the teaching of the church, the primary purpose of creation was to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. This means that God will eventually save this sinful world and restore it to its original sinless state. I thought that's what Jesus died for.
God...
Is he kind of skating over Jesus?
Oh no, you see, Jesus was a bit lazy, so he said, "Hey, you Koreans, you fix that for us." And he's like, "Oh yes, us noble Koreans save world."
Yeah, this is the basis of the principle of restoration. This is their restoration kit. They're restoration Koreans.
That's it.
Yeah, this is the perspective through which the Unification Church views the entire history of humanity. For the church, the history is the history of restoration and God's efforts to save fallen men. At the end of history, the last days are to come. Restoration teaches that God has tried to end the sinful world and restore the original good world several times in human history. However, men have failed in their responsibility and thwarted God's will. Doctrine claims that God made several such attempts. In the case of Noah, God first destroyed the sinful world with a flood. Yet Noah's second-born son Ham sinned again. Another attempt to restore the original sinless world was the coming of Jesus Christ, when God sent the Messiah to establish the perfect family and thus create the kingdom of heaven on earth. Jesus did not fulfill this mission because he was crucified. No one gets the blame there, though. According to the doctrine of the Unification Church, we are currently living in
the most sacrosanct part of Christianity. And they said, oh, he didn't fulfill his mission. No, all right. Dear God, forgiveness in my heart.
Remember you're on Dear Susan's YouTube Hobbit.
Yeah, who's burning in hell, by the way, and that's according to her.
Is it come shit? Is it come and shit? Is it?
Yeah, boiling in the cauldron of feces and semen, as is their belief, and I'm respectful of Susan's belief. Yeah, who also is burning in hell, as is their wishes. So now I'm going to ask God to guide my hand here, but please help the Moonies understand that the sacrifice Jesus did on the cross was for our benefit. It wasn't a tragedy, and it wasn't a mistake.
Whoops!
It didn't mean that
crucifixion.
It didn't mean that Jesus's role on earth wasn't fulfilled. It was fulfilled. Jesus, when he died on the cross, died for our sins, that we may be redeemed. Except for those that don't believe in that sort of thing, as is their right to do so, and that's why they're burning in a cauldron of feces and semen.
Yeah. According to the doctrine of the Unification Church, we are currently living in the period of the last days. That is the period of the second coming of Christ. However, today's situation is very different from previous ones. For Christ will be successful at his second coming. God will send the true parents of humanity, and through them fulfill the purpose of creation. During the previous 2,000 years, God has prepared, according to the principle of restoration, suitable democratic, social and legal environment that will protect Christ at the second coming. Why suitable democratic, social and legal environment, Hobbit?
I think this is some sort of nuance of Korean culture that I don't understand.
Do you think we're kind of like... Do you think we don't quite understand this because we don't understand Korean culture? You think part of that is part of this then?
There's something here which is more than just lost in translation. It's like, fundamental things about the Korean culture which are alien to us.
I'll bet you there.
Oh,
sorry. Oh, you finished. It sounded like you were cut off. It sounded like you were cut off mid-sentence. But you're stuffing your trap.
Yeah, it's against my beliefs to talk with my mouth full.
Yeah. You could finish your sentence before you fill your mouth up.
Oh, yes, but it was delicious, so I couldn't wait. Sorry. We're good now.
So you said alien. You're halfway through your sentence.
That's right. Well, that was it. There are things about the Korean culture that are alien.
There has to be, because it just doesn't like make sense or like mesh, does it?
Not in the slightest.
Because normally with these things, you can understand it and you can figure out the person's perspective, no matter how insane they are. You can go, I get why you're saying this. But with this, you can't even get it, can you?
With the way Koreans are, you can almost understand why their neighbours, the Chinese and the Japs, are the way they are. It's like you've got to deal with your crazy neighbour. Who occasionally, for no reason at all, at 7 p.m, starts screaming. And it's not because he's angry or upset or anything, it's just like, oh, I'm going to have a scream now. Come on, everybody, let's have a screeching contest. Let's see who can screech the loudest. It'll be fun. It'll be great fun.
So followers take as a starting point the truth of the Christian Old and New Testaments, with the divine principle as an additional text that intends to interpret and fulfill the purpose of those older texts. Moon was intent on replacing worldwide forms of Christianity with his new unified version. So he's attempting to unify the belts then, Hobbit.
In which case, if you want to unify the church, then that's the Catholic mission.
Yeah.
Here's the church, which, by the way, your church wouldn't exist without the Catholic Church. And what's the mission of the Catholic Church? Well, we all speak with one voice. We are Catholic.
Yeah. Moon being a self-declared messiah. Oh, so with his new unified version of it, Moon being a self-declared messiah. Moon's followers regard him as a separate person from Jesus. Well, thank God for that. Pun intended.
That's a relief.
But with a mission to basically continue and complete Jesus' work in a new way according to the principle. You know the problem with Jesus, he just didn't know what he was doing. He needed a Korean man to finish it off.
Well, that's it. He was a lazy good for nothing with long hair and a hippie.
He lazy round eye. He
not work 16-hour days like good Korean man.
The Unification Church regards a person's destination after death as dependent on how much one's work during his life responds to his teaching. You always with the fucking work with them. You're lazy at school. You not get to heaven. Moon's followers believe in apocastasis.
Isn't the Protestant belief that if you don't work 60-hour work weeks, you'll go to hell?
Yeah. In theology, apocatastasis. You ever heard of that? Hobbit?
Easy for you to say.
Fucking is. Why do they come up with these fucking horrible words? It's like, why does stutter have 2 T's in it?
Just to offend the stutterers.
Why does lisp have an S in it? It's like, why do these things occur? Why do they happen?
Is it kind of amantipedic? Like, you say these words and they make you have the problem. You know, like meow and moo, they're amantipedic words, right?
Yeah. Did you know Kevin Smith created a Batman villain called Onomatopoeia?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a great contribution to American folklore, Kevin Smith. Well done. Give yourself a gold star.
So Moon's followers believe in apocatastasis.
Anyway, they believe in some made-up bullshit word.
Well, apparently apocas is the restoration of creation to a condition of perfection.
All right, okay.
The term refers to a form of Christian universalism. This is some Korean
fan fiction, then.
Oh, Christian universalism. Yeah. I don't like the sound of that. That everyone will eventually receive
Korean
salvation.
Universalism.
So Frederick Sontag had a pop at it as well.
Oh.
He thought he'd have a go at understanding it.
Interdimensional Lizard's got one to add to this.
Yeah.
The same thing with the fear of large words, and the fear of large words is called hippopotamonstrosy. I can't. How the fuck? You know what? I'm going to just put it.
Hippopotamonstros is
no. What you do? Copy paste that. Put it in Google Translate and have the lady read it for you. So Google Translate. Yeah, translate to Google. And then I'm going to have the word.
Do we pretty much know what they think?
I don't. What?
So basically, I think this kind of which one?
Hang on. Even with her reading out to me, there's actually a translation for it in French as well. Right. So the first bit is hippopotamonstros So hippos are monstrous, horses for Philadelphia.
Equiptalophobia.
No, esquipti. Hang on, tell me the next bit.
Oh no, Hobbit. Dom says Rule 34 Moomins confirmed.
I know.
How do you know if you already had a look? Is this something you did before the show?
Well, last week I decided to use that Rule 34 to see if I could find any like asterisk and oblique stuff. And imagine, if you will, somebody's done like it looks like a watercolor, beautiful, beautiful artwork, and Obelix is looking at an issue of Playboy, and he's got his willy out. Asterix is looking sort of like peeking around the bushes, and for some reason, in this beautiful watercolor where Obelix is looking at a bongo mag, there's a moped just superimposed in the background,
and it looks like somebody just put a bit of clip art onto this. It's like, what the fuck is this? Is this like some sort of like French joke I don't get? Like, you know, the Belgian artist who did this painting is not a pipe. It's painting of a pipe. Yeah, it's like, is this?
I can't remember. It's Senna. It's just Senna. Known peep.
Yeah, and I think he also did the painting of the man in the bowler hat with an apple in front of his face, obscuring it.
Did he have a thing about apples, this geezer?
I don't know. Yep.
Sin. So this is how he describes sin. The divine principle describes the origin of sin and the process of the fallen man. First, the man and woman, Adam and Eve, before they became perfect, were tempted by the archangel Lucifer to illicit love. Because of this, Adam and Eve willfully turned away from God's will and purpose, bringing spiritual death to themselves and the human race. What?
Yeah. Okay.
Some of this don't make sense. Like Christology, according to the divine principle, fallen humanity can only be restored to God through Christ, who comes as the new Adam to become the new head of the human race, through whom humanity can be reborn into the family of God.
This smells like some grade A heresy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's just
I don't like this.
It's just like, oh look, here's the Bible for a new audience.
It's like, look, you know what this is like, right? Have you ever seen Korean pizza? Absolute crime against the culinary things of everything, right? It is an offence to both Korean and Italian cuisine. It is god awful.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, what the Koreans have done to pizza, Koreans have done to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right, so listen to this nonsense. According to the divine principle, a proper understanding of theology focuses simultaneously on man's relationship with God, vertical, and man's relationship with his neighbour, horizontal. Man's sin has disrupted both these relationships and thus caused all the problems in the world. These problems will be solved through the restoration of man to God through Christ, as well as through such measures as establishing appropriate moral standards and practices, forming true families. It's just,
I know this isn't...
Did he come from a broken home or something? Because he's obsessed with families.
Does his mother have like a severe form of arthritis?
Or autism?
Yeah, well, Korean autism. Yeah. No, I don't know, mate. This is a real head scratcher. I've got to apologise to the audience, but I'm really struggling with the subject matter and just thought how pants on head retarded and obscure it all is.
So let's talk about the wedding ceremonies. So the blessing ceremonies, they're these massive.
Now that bit that's the most well-known bit about the Moonies.
So the first blessing ceremony was held in 1961 for 36 couples. Moon matched all of the couples except 12 who were already married to each other before joining the church. This was Moon's second marriage. In 1945, he married Sun Kil Choi. A real name, apparently. Yeah. They had a son in 1946, divorced in 1954. So obviously, marriage isn't all that sacrosanct in Mooneyism.
No.
So later blessing ceremonies were larger in scale, but all followed the same pattern. All participants were HSA-UWC members. Obviously, if you want to know what it means, listen to the last episode. I've had enough. And Moon matched most of the couples. 1982, the first large-scale blessing of 2,000 couples outside of Korea took place in Madison Square Garden, New York City, where you do the boxing. In 1988, Moon matched 2,500 Korean members with Japanese members for a blessing ceremony held in Korea, partly in order to promote unity between the two nations. I should imagine some of that was passports, was it, as well?
Probably. I hope the Japanese will be like, oh, we need to actually have stricter laws on this stuff.
Moon's practice of matching couples was very unusual in both Christian tradition and modern Western culture, and attracted much attention and controversy.
I think it's just got to be unusual.
He's not in the West. He's in Korea. Are they saying that Korea is part of the unofficially part of the West?
Well, isn't it they're trying to divide stuff up with like communist and democracy lines?
Yeah.
I always find that unusual, considering that communists call themselves democratically elected councils of the people.
You've got the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is the northern one, isn't it?
Yeah. You know a place is democratic when it's got democratic in the name.
Well, that's, so democratic, they named it democratic.
Yeah, the more democratic, the more the dear leader will mention how democratic things are.
Yeah. The New York Times
and say that's democracy.
Referred to a 1997 ceremony for 28,000 couples as a marriage affirmation ceremony, adding the real weddings were held later in separate legal ceremonies. That was the fucking swamp, the place, wasn't it?
I think that's why because can you imagine getting like all the registrars in to deal with 28,000 people in one go?
Yeah. Mary Farrell Bednarowski, which is a real name apparently. That's a uniquely American name, that, isn't it?
It's a very American name.
Says that marriage is really the only sacrament in the unification movement. Well, not really, because Moon's been fucking divorced umpteen times.
Yeah. Well, a wedding and a marriage is something you do, like changing the bed sheets.
Yeah.
Some people, they can have like one pair of bed sheets for the rest of their life. Other people change them twice monthly.
Do you need to know their holy days, Hobbit?
Oh boy, do I ever. Do they celebrate Christmas?
What do they do? No, their last one's November. Foundation Day, which was always the 3rd of October until 2009, and then the 16th of November 2012, according to the lunar calendar. Oh, they keep.
Oh, I see. We're using the lunar calendar, are we?
Apparently.
Oh God, do you remember when we were doing sidereal time versus tropical time?
Fucking hell.
That was a head fuck.
Scholarly studies? No, I doubt there are any. Oh boy, do you want to know about their relations with other religions?
Boy, howdy!
Unificationism holds that Jewish people as a whole were prepared by God to receive the Messiah in the person of Jesus of Nazareth. Don't tell them that. They don't really like it. With John the Baptist tasked from birth with the mission to lead the Jewish people to Jesus, but failed in his mission. According to the divine proof, a lot of people had to fail in a lot of missions, didn't they, to enable the Mooney to be.
That's okay. Us Koreans know how to do real tikkum alam, unlike you lazy Jews. We'll show you how it's done. Korea #1. We unified Jews with Muslims now.
I can't be bothered. It's
Annual Gifts Day.
In 1984, Mose Durst, the then president of the Unification Church of the United States, as well as a convert from Judaism, said the Jewish community had been hateful in its response to the growth of the unification movement.
How dare they? Don't they realise that all the Moonies want to do is have a committee for the world?
Does Moon not realise how anti-Semitic he is?
When will there be a committee for the world? Committees for the world.
In 1974, so this is.
I want to know, and I think this is like on the forefront for everybody who watches this show now. Have the Moonies made a committee to unify Cat Stevens with Yusuf Islam? Because that is the peace and unity and reconciliation we all want to see, right?
Well, he had a go at Israel and Palestine, though, didn't he? He had a pop at it.
What? Cat Stevens?
Oh, Cat Stevens. My favourite Cat Stevens gag was I was watching Talk Sport and they were doing like a quiz, and they said, What was Cat Stevens' name when he when he joined Islam? Someone said Abu Hamza.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting them to be going in that direction.
Not quite right.
It's close, but it's no cigar.
Yeah. You had the one about Keir Starmer's on Family Fortunes with Les Dennis, and Les Dennis goes, "So then, Keir, name something that you'd put on a barbecue," and Keir says, "Hostages." So Les Dennis says, "If that answer's up there, I'll give you the money myself."
Oh, it's funny. He's our democratically elected leader.
Oh dear. Just remember, those people that voted him in walk among you.
Remember, their vote is as valid as yours or ours. Yep.
So anyway, Moon's been Moon was jailed. See if you can guess what for, Hobbit.
Is it tax fraud?
Ah, damn it! You guessed it. How the fuck did you guess that?
It's like, as Les Dennis says, if it's up there on the board, I'll give you the money myself.
Oh shit! You can get the court documents up. See, United States versus some young Moon. That's
some young guy.
More interesting than learning any more about the movement.
I was going to say that's got to be like that's the true process of discovery, right?
The Muslim advocacy group, the Council on American Islamic Relations, listed the Washington Times among the media outlets it said regularly demonstrates or supports Islamophobic themes. Whoa, where did that come from? Apparently they got links with but mind you, they met up with Farrakhan, didn't they? So, of course they did.
Yeah.
In his 2009 autobiography, Moon praised Islam and expressed the hope there will be more understanding between different religious communities. In 2011, representatives of the Unification Church took part in an international seminar which was held in Taiwan by the Muslim World League.
He's not the first person.
Is that a sporting event, the Muslim World League?
Well, they're not really known for sports, are they, apart from falconry? I think Lord Burkow wanted to have like reconciliation between Muslims and Christians.
Yeah,
he was a Victorian bloke.
The divine
Lord
principle
Burkow
calls for the unification of science and religion. Religion and science, each in their own spheres, have been the method. But it's only recently that religion and science got separated, wasn't it? And that's when science became kind of a little bit. I believe they call it slow.
Like, the whole point of science was to find the truth in God's creation.
Yeah.
It's natural philosophy.
Mm.
Some people say it's not, but it is. If it wasn't for the monks jotting things down, we wouldn't have had any of the ancient knowledge preserved.
So he was quite anti-communist. In the 1940s, Moon cooperated with the Communist Party members in support of the Korean independence movement against the Imperial Japan. After the Korean War, he became an outspoken anti-communist.
Well, it just sounds like he's more interested in just like getting against those damn. Sorry, I'm going to quote Batman here. Yeah. Those shifty-eyed Japs than anything else. 1940s Batman. 1940s Batman was a lot more outspoken on political issues than
Batman. Badman, more like.
More like McCarthy era. No, it was before McCarthy era. If you haven't seen 1940s Batman, I suggest you don't.
Yeah, problematic. It's a very problematic language in there.
You can watch it right now, but I suggest you don't.
So in 1991, Moon met with Kim Il Sung. So that's Kim Jong Un's dad, is it?
Yeah, he was the founder of North Korea.
Oh, so that's
North Korean
granddad then.
Yeah.
Right. To discuss ways to achieve peace on the Korean Peninsula, as well as on international relations, tourism, and other topics. In 1992, Kim gave his first and only interview with the Western news media to Washington Times reporter Josette Sheeran, who later became executive director of the United Nations World Food Programme. In 1990, so CIA then. In 1994, Moon was officially invited to Kim's funeral in spite of the absence of diplomatic relations between North Korea and South Korea.
That's interesting. One day you managed to wrangle that one then.
No, apparently.
And how did you get there?
There was a lot of to-in and fro-in between. So Kim Il Sung, I think that's. So they did a lot of to-in and fro-in with North Korea. So they were trying to bring them together. He seems like a bit of a spastic, but I think he seemed to have quite a lot of pull then, didn't he? If he was popping up to see, mind you, Kim Jong Un takes that American basketball player seriously, doesn't he?
I've got to say, the thing
Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman's a big friend of North Korea.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. You see, like the Koreans, we don't understand what makes them tick, and whatever it is, it's vastly different. There's a whole gulf between what we consider like important and what they consider important.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know quite how else to put it, really.
In 2021, Donald Trump and Shinzo Abe. That's what I forgot to say. They were behind Shinzo Abe's brain's not working. Assassination.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with the Moonies. You start doing that for a while, and your brain just shuts down.
It just fucking does, doesn't it? Theological disputes with Christianity. Bugger off. It's made up shit.
Pretty much.
I'm not reading that. Ideal family. Spending church funds in casinos. This sounds good. In Moon and Hand's teaching, Las Vegas was described as a city of Satan. Satan. And they aim to amass believers to transform that hell into heaven.
Best concert I ever went to in my life was Orbital. It was only 2 hours long. I wish it were longer.
Oh, yeah, that was good when it's Satan.
Also did a Doctor Who theme.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Well, they did a cover of Doctor Who.
So, however, in 2022, reports from Shukan Bunchun and TBS News revealed that, according to transaction records compiled between 2008 and 2011 by MGM Resorts International, Hak Jahan and 11 church executives lost approximately $6.52 million in Las Vegas casinos. According to a former domestic helper of Hak Jahan, the religious president's favourite casino game was the slot machine. That's very Korean, isn't it? The favourite thing is the slot machine.
I could imagine he'd just be up for like 18 hours at a time. Have you seen the row of the boomers like spending away their inheritance, just like constantly pressing the same button over and over again? And the thing is, this addictive behaviour. This is why I'm trying to get off of mobiles, because I just don't. And it's like one of the best ways to avoid gambling is never to set foot in the casino. Well, they're bringing the casino into phones these days. Like all the games, they're all just like these. They got like game theorists from gambling to make it super addictive, and it's horrible. Absolutely, literally, you'd be better off just having a cocaine habit than doing these phone games.
A senior believer claims the funds squandered. This is hilarious. I bet you'll love this one. Claims the funds squandered in the casino were donations from Japanese believers. Internal church records specify that donations totaling $9.51 million between 2009 and 2011 were intended for Las Vegas. A former Japanese chief of the church who participated in the church's Las Vegas tour testified that the church specifically instructed participants to carry $7,500 in cash as a donation, which was below the upper limit for customs declaration. Upon arrival in the US...
Clever.
What's that?
How clever, just like, you take this $7,500, no more, no less.
Yeah. Upon arrival in the US, they would hand over their donations and be given a tour of tourist attractions, such as the Grand Canyon, while only being able to meet Moon and Han once, unaware of their gambling activities in the casino. I love cults. I love the fucking schizophrenia of cults. The way these people are like, you can't have sex with anyone. Well, like the leader guy is just like fucking everyone's missus.
Let me just impregnate all 16 of the women in this commune now.
Yeah. It's just the absolute fucking schizophrenia of it. It's like a big shit test, and most of the guys that join these cults fail, don't they?
Well, that's how they make their money, They get rubes, they get their Brutuses in, do a load of unpaid work for them, give them their life savings, and in exchange they'll be like, oh yeah, you'll get real ultimate power, but you just need to ascend to the next level. You haven't ascended to the next level yet. Just keep at it.
Oh, how about this one then? Investigation by the United States House.
Story when he was serving somebody, and it's like, when do I become the master? Yeah. And it was like, don't you understand? This training is to, you must learn to serve others in order to become a master. In other words, they were just like, oh, look at this stupid Westerner. Yeah. Let's get him sweeping the floors and getting us tea. He'll fall for it.
He's watched Karate Kid too many times. We'll mug him off. In 1977, the subcommittee on international organisations of the committee.
I'm sure glad there's a subcommittee.
My God, of the Moonies infiltrated the United States government and naming subcommittees now, are they?
Yeah.
This is funny. This is funny when this gets going on, but you'll enjoy this. Of the United States House of Representatives,
I'm enjoying it now.
Reported that Unification Church was established by the director of the Korean Central Intelligence Agency, Kim Chong-pil.
This explains it, right? So the Korean Central Intelligence, like, we need to weaponize something. We've seen MK Ultra in America, right? How can we do better than that?
Yeah.
Hold my fermented rice wine. Watch this. Proceeds to make the most batshit insane, grifting religious cult.
Grifting religious gambling cult.
It's like, seriously, my hat goes off to the Koreans, right? This is the most successful, widespread, mainstream cult of any in the world. It is the Samsung of Hail Bop cult.
Except no death, just lots of gambling. And
well, you say no death. We don't know, because the thing is, there could be like a subcommittee for executing members that don't give us enough money, except they won't call it anything as straightforward as that.
The committee also reported that the KCIA had used the movement to gain political influence within the United States.
KCIA, fuck me.
Yeah.
Wait, here's the thing, right? I need to explain something about Koreans, okay? So, apart from them having this very much like one-upmanship, anything the Japanese can do, we can do better. That's why they do baseball in Korea. But the other thing they noticed is, and I think it was the comfort women, Americans have funny penises. What's wrong with your penis? Oh, well, lady, I'm circumcised. Iowa, corn, Coca-Cola. And like, okay, we do circumcision to all our boys now. So both in North and South Korea, they do mass circumcisions.
Yeah.
But the reason they keep on with it is because turns out there's a lot of stem cells in infant prepuce. And if you grind that up into a paste, you can sell it as anti-aging cream, which fetches a hefty price. So basically, women buy these anti-aging cream, they're rubbing infant penises, ground up penis paste, into their face, and that gives them a youthful appearance. So think about that next time you give your darling a kiss on the cheek.
So the committee had also reported...
Oh, God! Oh, sorry.
So remember, Hobbit, this is 1977, and they've learnt nothing from this. Because the committee had also reported that the KCIA had used the movement to gain political influence in the United States, and some of its members had worked as volunteers in congressional offices. Not learnt a damn thing since 1977.
Nope.
Which acted as a public diplomacy campaign for the Republic of Korea. Republic, that's the South, isn't it?
Yeah. Democrats are North,
is the North,
Republican... Democrats North, Republican South.
Yeah. The committee also investigated possible KCI influence on the Unifications Churches campaign in support of Nixon. Oh, of course they did. Nixon was like the olden day Trump, wasn't he? It was like, oh shit, this guy's based. We better fucking do something about him before he actually helps out the people of America.
Wait, this guy opposes murdering babies and allowing anal sex to be taught in schools.
Yeah.
Oh, he's literally Hitler.
Unification Church official Dan Pfefferman testified in August 19... Pfefferman.
Scotchio.
Dan Pfefferman. Testified in August 1977 before the Fraser Committee. You didn't know Fraser was around then, did you?
No. What is this the committee for playing...
He knew what the Moonies were up to. He was trying to put a stop to them.
The committee for playing war crack 70 hours a week.
Testimony from Pfefferman continued that he had social ties to officials within the South Korean embassy. Pfefferman testified that he had arranged a meeting in 1975 between Republican aide Edwin Fulner of the Heritage Foundation and South Korean Minister Kim Young-hwan, some young man, to potentially put together a group of congressional aides who would travel to South Korea. So they took aides to South Korea, Hobbit.
I think they're known as HIVs now.
Okay. Hwan, then station chief for the KCIA. Fucking me. It's like they haven't learned. Like Feinstein has the CCCP. TCP. She's got the TCP driver, hasn't she? Feinstein, or she had.
TCP/IP stack.
Yeah. Driving her around, didn't she? During his testimony, Pfefferman refused to answer 9 questions from the subcommittee, saying they violated his constitutional rights to freedom of religion and association. The subcommittee recommended that Pfefferman...
Wait, are you saying this Pfefferman, is that the guy that looks like a Neanderthal?
I don't know. There's no pictures of Pfefferman.
No, not John
Fentanyl, isn't
John
it?
Fetterman.
Fentanyl.
John Fentanyl Man.
Yeah. Not for Pfefferman.
Fentanyl Man.
Not for Pfefferman.
Pfefferman.
Be cited for contempt of Congress. Pfefferman, speaking to the Michigan Daily in 1980, said, "The subcommittee's recommendations were never taken up and no charges were pressed." So no charges were pressed. That means he didn't do anything wrong. Did you know this?
Cool. One thing I will say against Nixon, this was like a pretty poor choice of words.
Yeah.
He did say, when the president does it, then it is not illegal.
Yeah. He also said that...
I mean,
is it the Skull and Bones?
The thing is...
the faggiest goddamn thing he ever saw? Was that Bohemian Grove?
He was talking about Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing, right? I'm not... I mean, in practice, we know that what he said is true, but you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm somebody that likes getting through social pretenses because I feel like all of these things are barriers from saying the truth, and I don't like how deceptive people are in normal conversation because of social manners. Oh, and that was another thing as well. Equitet, the actual study of manners and how one should behave. That was to help autistics fit in society. But then we decided to do away with manners. So now autistics are at a disadvantage because they're not able to keep up with social mores? Social mores? Mores, yeah. Not able to keep up with the moray patterns of society. Yeah. But look, we had a formalised set of rules on how people should interact with each other, and it was called manners.
Yeah.
And then equitet.
Like, you hold your knife and fork in a certain way.
Cases. Like, you could do another episode on court cases, but I've had enough now.
Yeah.
You
can look at court cases right now, but I suggest you don't.
Let's just cover a couple of little bits.
They took the
Daily Mail to court. The original case heard 117 witnesses, including American anti-cult psychiatrist Margaret Thaler Singer. In the original case, the Unification Church was ordered to pay Associated Newspapers $750,000 in costs, which was a lot of fucking money back then, isn't it?
Yeah, but also, like, the term Singer, that's not a very Korean name, is it?
No, she's an anti-cult psychiatrist, so she was the expert witness, I assume.
Okay, got you.
So, according to George Chrysides, about half of the Unification Church's 500 full-time membership in Britain moved to the United States. Unification Church sold 7 of its 12 principal church centres. Other anti-cultists in countries like Germany sought to incorporate the London High Court's decision into law. So the Unification Church has won other libel and defamation cases in the United Kingdom, including a similar case against the Daily Telegraph. So they won some, they lost some.
So far than that.
He took the Yanks to court. Crown of Peace event. I'm not interested in that. Japan. Oh, so the assassination of Shinzo Abe. Shinzo Abe's assassination by Tetsuya Yamagami, who blamed Abe for his family's bankruptcy due to the Unification Church, led Japan's ruling party to cut ties with the church in August 2022.
Well, that in itself, that is a tragedy, but also understandable.
Yeah.
The guy basically just had enough, right?
Yeah, they bankrupted his family.
But also, now here's a controversy over the Shinzo Abe thing.
Obviously, we don't condone violence, especially political violence. Obviously, Hobbit.
But here's of course not. But here's the thing, right? So Shinzo Abe, during the Panda Pops social experiment, which was conducted 4 years ago, he said we should be using horse paste on people because it works. And everybody laughed and mocked him. But Japan actually did pretty well. They weren't as under the weather as other people with Panda Pops. Now, it was rumoured that he was assassinated because he embarrassed some people at the World Health Organization who was saying about things being safe and effective. And Shinzo Abe said, "You don't need Panda Pops. Ivermectin works."
Right, okay then.
Yeah. Yep.
The Moonies also showed support for North Korea's development of nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons.
So I think that'll do me. I've had enough of this. I've got one more story, Hobbit.
Go on then.
As a palate cleanser.
Oh, good. Like a bit of pickled ginger.
Yeah. Right, where is it? Let's find this story. Right, monkeys saved 6-year-old girl from being raped by sex fiend after he tore her clothes off. Father says my daughter would be dead now if they had not intervened. What country do you think this is from, Hobbit?
I was going to say this isn't the first time an animal has helped out a vulnerable person in India from getting raped. Monkeys have defended children. Well, because I read the story and then it's like, here's tigers saving a child from being raped. Here's monkeys saving a child from getting raped. And it's like, I get a feeling that... Now, this might seem as a controversial opinion, so Indians don't at me, but I think rape is bad.
Yeah.
I know, this is going to upset a lot of Hindus, like Brutus, but I just think rape is not right. I don't think
even monkeys know it's bad.
I'm saying maybe do less rapes.
If monkeys know rape is bad, then surely people should too.
Well, you're attributing human attributes to Hindus. The jury's still out on that one.
Right. So, you got anything else, 14? You want to talk about Hobbit? We've left some on. There's some bits we can do on the Moonies, but I think I'm done with the Moonies for now. That was quite depressing and quite a slog.
Did anybody notice how bright and close the moon seemed recently? I thought that was a bit weird. Why is it that the moon...
Big the other day. It was a big orangey one, wasn't it? Is that a blood moon?
Yeah, and it's like, so, sometimes it's blue, sometimes that, and I know people say
this is the unabridged version of the Jungle Book.
Yeah. Oh dear, fucking hell! I just figured out what he's alluding to there. Oh dear.
Story, yeah.
India, can you just not be in the news for the next few years, please?
Yeah.
Can you just not hear
India? Can you just not? It's like, is Uttar Pradesh like the Florida of India? Do you know? Have you noticed most of the stories come from Uttar Pradesh, don't they?
That's right. You said, "Hey Hobbit, read this article about Uttar Pradesh."
Yeah. It's always Uttar Pradesh. It's always Uttar. Do they have like sunshine laws there, something like the like Floridians do?
Sunshine laws?
Yeah. The reason you have all these stories about Florida, man, it isn't because like the Floridians are any more degenerate than any other place. It's just they have really, really. I think they're like public information laws. Like they have really stringent public information. That's how people can find all of this stuff out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you don't hear about other places. Like rape goes on in places that's not India, but you don't have stories of like monkeys, tigers, and
even the monkeys
dogs.
And tigers have come to India, lions and tigers. Even they've had
They'll stop
rape.
Come to India. India. Forget Norway. Oh, imagine the boring food you get in Norway, like fish, which isn't like rancid.
Imagine not having a 50-50 chance.
Oh, actually, no.
Some Hobbit. How boring would that be?
It's the cholera which gives the food that authentic flavour.
I mean, when the Nigerians are taking the mick out of your food cooking practices, I think you need to have a long, hard look at yourself as a nation. Here's another thing, right? So, a lot of people say, "Oh, would you go on TikTok for? That's just for like women and brain dead morons." The only social media platform I know of that is banned in India, TikTok. It's actually quite a nice place when it's not being shitted up with the rape enthusiast. I mean, my God, if rape was an Olympic sport, India would be dominating with gold medals. The Fortean case of India. Why you rape so much? Yeah, India. Why you rape so much?
India, can you just tone it down with the rape, please?
Did you know the Moonies have big links with Swindon?
Oh, tell me more.
It says Unification or Moonies religion had links with Stanton, Fitzwarren near Swindon since the 1970s. Although no longer its UK centre, a large chunk of farmland is still owned by the church.
Did they do a committee for the study of the Magic Roundabout?
Mooney moves.
Do you think the Moonies had a say in the Magic Roundabout?
Might have done. It's that but wouldn't they have named it, and it wouldn't have been in the Magic Roundabout, would it?
Well, yeah,
it
but
the People's Unification Roundabout of something.
Everything.
Yeah. Right, we done?
Absolutely done.
Right, night all. Stay spooky.
All right.
Stop streaming.
That was a good show. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's right. I think we didn't really get into it till the end, though, did we?